Hello, my name is Naomi de Jesus, and I will be discussing how economic class intersects with business and economics in some of the plays that we have discussed in this class. The plays that I will be discussing are Ruined by Lynn Nottage, Detroit by Lisa Dale Moore, and Good People by David Lindsay Abaire. These plays illustrate the struggles of lower class and what circumstances need to be taken to be successful, or in this case, get out of the situation the characters are in. All three plays show the difficult obstacles they all need to overcome due to their economic status. There are two different spectrums of economic class. You are either rich or poor, depending on the situation. Economic class is based on a group of people with the same economic status. In this case, I will be discussing the lower economic class portrayed by the characters in each play. Lower class equals time of need. What I mean by this is that in each play, the characters show that they are tensed and need some type of security, which guides them to perform risky actions. Whether it be a loss of job or not making enough, each character has a different circumstance in their time of need, but have similar goals, and that goal is to get out of the situation that they are in. First and foremost, Ruined is a play about women who are in low economic status due to their gender and society outcomes. Two women, Sophie and Salima, are fighting to get out of their economic class and trying to find peace. These two women have been violently raped and have been taken away everything from them because of the civil war that is occurring. The only way to survive is to engage in prostitution and mama's bar. But women who are involved in prostitution are usually characterized as being trapped or enslaved, as discussed in the article Transcending Differences. Both women struggle and are at a loss. Sophie takes things into her own hands at the beginning of the play, putting herself at risk. She has a discussion with Salima about leaving, saying, "Don't worry, Mama may be many things, but she don't count so good, and when there's enough, we'll get a bus to Bunia." However, Salima is scared that Mama is going to find out. Sophie, on the other hand, is willing to take the risk. With Mama, it is hard to tell with her. It seems like she cares, but at the same time, she puts her business above all. She has no regards towards the other women because what matters to her most is keeping her business intact. Towards the end of the play, she says, "What if Isomiga had been more offended? What then? Who would protect my business? Now I have to give away business to keep him and his filthy soldiers happy." She does not care for the safety or happiness of Sophie. In this case, all she wants is to keep her business going and to keep her clients happy. She is also in the lower income economic class, therefore, she does anything to receive any type of income. Detroit is a play about two couples living in a suburban area in the beginning of the play. You can already feel the tension rising as they discuss their problems. Ben had just lost his job, and Kenny and Sharon had just gotten out of rehab. As explained in a theater review by Isherwood, echoing the emotional tension that slowly builds between the two couples who, as they begin spending more time together, trade their troubles the way that couples of earlier generations swap stories of their kids' ball-filled triumphs. They spill out their feelings, and as well as explain their American dream of succeeding. Ben explains his plan of making his own business, but is stressed because it hasn't gotten anywhere yet. This play is called Detroit, but not because it is set in Detroit. The reason it is called Detroit is because it is based on the true events of the city Detroit. There has been a financial fall causing jobs to be lost and houses to become vacant. An article that I found said, "The East Side house in which Mr. Ponder lives, once owned by his grandmother, is the only one on this block that appears to be occupied." Many houses aren't occupied, which makes it easier for others to stay in vacant homes. In this case, Kenny and Sharon stay in the non-occupied house, which with no furniture or anything. This is very common in the economic status that Detroit is facing right now. Good People is a play based on a woman named Margaret, who was just fired from the dollar store, causing her to become desperate for help. She goes to her ex-boyfriend Mike, who used to live in South Boston, also known as Southie. He was considered lucky because he was able to get out of Southie, unlike everyone else, and become a successful doctor. Margaret finds this out and goes to him for help. This desperation and frustration gets to her, and she lets out a deep secret to Mike, indirectly letting him know that he is the father of her 20-year-old mentally ill daughter, Joycey. This play is about good and bad people, and it is apparent that Mike is not good people. He does not care for the well-being of Margaret nor her daughter. Margaret then realized that she could never get out of poverty, no matter how much she tried. Once she realizes this, she says, "Because it means nothing would have been different, that there really was nothing I could have done to get out of here." Her goal was to get out of her situation and maintain the ability to provide for her daughter. She feels helpless and is at a loss of what she should do, which is in many cases others in the situation where you have to provide for yourself and not able to do so due to circumstances. In conclusion, each play revolves around fighting for the freedom of not being in poverty and getting out of the lower economic class. In order to do so, they take some risky measures that puts themselves in danger. But this does not matter because each character would strive to do whatever it takes to get out of their struggle. Their economic class makes a difference in terms of what you get and don't get. It determines whether you are successful or not. Overall, each play contributes to economic class and how it can affect one's life. To see my bibliography, please click on the link, and thank you for watching my presentation.